Namaste students. Today we will discuss about redox reaction. That means oxidation and reduction. In in redox RED stands for reduction and OX stands for oxidation. So we define redox reaction, that is oxidation and reduction. Dear students, we can define oxidation and reduction on the basis of classical concept as well as modern concept. In modern concept, there are two concepts: A, electronic concept, and B, oxidation number concept. But syllabus of class 10th, we have to only learn about on the basis of classical concept the definition of oxidation and reduction. So let us start. Definition of oxidation on the basis of classical concept. Oxidation is a process in which addition of oxygen or addition of electronegative element to a compound or element. Here we use the term electronegative element, and we know that nonmetals are electronegative element. So we can clarify oxidation reaction by different examples. Mg reacts with oxygen to form MgO after balancing 2 Mg plus O2, 2 MgO. Here we see that this Mg convert into MgO, that means addition of oxygen. That's why we can say that magnesium is oxidized. Second one, Mg plus F2 form MgF2, magnesium fluoride. Here oxygen is not present. Here magnesium convert into magnesium fluoride. So here addition of electronegative element, and we can say that magnesium is oxidized. Other example, iron react with sulfur to form, after heating it forms iron sulfide. So we see that iron convert into iron sulfide, in which addition of sulfur, that is electronegative element. So iron is oxidized. F is oxidized. Oxidation means addition of oxygen or addition of electronegative element. Now, in other words, we can also define oxidation as follows: removal of hydrogen or removal of electropositive element is also known as oxidation. Removal of hydrogen or removal of electropositive element, and we know that metals are electropositive element, is also known as oxidation. As for example, methane reacts with oxygen to form carbon dioxide and water. Here we use 2 for balance this chemical equation. In this reaction, we see that CH4 convert into CO2, that means removal of hydrogen. That's why we can say that CH4 is reduced. In second example, Zn reacts with copper sulfate to form ZnSO4 plus CuSO4 convert into Cu and Zn form into ZnSO4. Here removal of copper from copper sulfate, removal of copper, that is copper is electropositive element. That's why we can say that copper sulfate is oxidized. Because removal of electropositive element is also known as oxidation, and here in above example, removal of hydrogen, that means CH4 is not reduced, CH4 is oxidized, because in CH4 convert into carbon dioxide, that means removal of hydrogen. So in simply we can say that oxidation is a process in which addition of oxygen or electronegative element and removal of hydrogen or electropositive element, process in which addition of oxygen or electronegative element and removal of hydrogen or electropositive element is known as oxidation. Now we have to discuss about reduction, and it is opposite form of oxidation. So we can define reduction as follows: process in which addition of hydrogen or electropositive element or removal of oxygen or electronegative element is known as reduction. That means just in opposite form we define reduction: process in which addition of hydrogen or electropositive element and not or, and removal of oxygen or electronegative element is known as reduction. As for example, HgO, after heating, it converts into Hg plus O2 to HgO after balancing. Here we see that HgO convert into Hg, that means removal of oxygen. Removal of oxygen means reduction, so HgO is reduced. Here second example, C2H4 plus H2 hydrogenation of methane, addition of hydrogen in ethane, it convert into ethane, it is ethene, and it convert into ethane. Here we see that C2H4 convert into C2H6, that means addition of hydrogen, and addition of hydrogen is known as reduction, so C2H4 is reduced. Another example, HgCl2 react with SnCl2 to form HgCl2 plus SnCl4. After balancing, 2 HgCl2, and then after it is balanced. Here we see that HgCl2 convert into Hg2Cl2. It is HgCl2, that means mercurous and mercury chloride. It is mercuric chloride, and it is mercurous chloride, that means mercury or mercury 2 chloride. 2 for valency, and here mercury for Hg2Cl2, mercury 1 chloride. So HgCl2 convert into Hg2Cl2, addition of mercury, that is addition of electropositive element. So dear students, HgCl2 is reduced, because we know that process in which addition of hydrogen or electropositive element and removal of oxygen or electronegative element is known as reduction. So dear students, in this lecture we define oxidation and reduction on the basis of classical concept. So your homework is solve in text problems, page number 13, NCERT, and then after we will discuss combined form of oxidation and reduction, that is redox reaction, because either oxidation or reduction never take place, both take place simultaneously. So dear students, either oxidation or reduction never take place, so every oxidation reaction is a reduction reaction, and reduction reaction is a oxidation reaction, that is redox reaction, which we discuss in next lecture. Thank you.